Hey everybody, welcome back to another YouTube segment with us here. I am very honored and grateful for Marla Ranieri joining us from Better Health. Marla and I go way back, and most recently we delivered a joint lecture at PPS, and I'm going to let her share with you that title and a little bit about what that was about. But the whole reason why we're doing this four-part segment here on YouTube is to move you forward into innovative technologies on the administrative side. You all have heard me talk about how we have to have three income verticals, and you have to be more innovative and embrace technology on the clinical aspect. And I think Marla and her company, Better Health, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and a little bit about her company first. And then you're going to hear about how it is equally as important for you to consider evidence-based administrative practice as much as you do evidence-based clinical practice. So without any further ado, Marla, why don't you give them a little bit about you and the business, and then let's dive in about what we did and how we help people at PPS.
Great. Thanks so much. And it's a pleasure being here. I am a physical therapist, and that's really where I started. In addition to that, I ended up creating Better Healthcare, formerly known as Better PT. And the whole goal through Better Healthcare is to make it easier for patients to schedule appointments, get in the door. We're really just driving growth and revenue through appointment volume. So that being said, we've had a long transition together, you and I love learning from you and love working with all of your members as well. And what we presented at PPS, which was really important, and I felt like a very, very good innovative topic for the group was, are you sitting on a data gold mine? And I can talk a lot more about that, but it's basically what you were saying, that you have to really think about the way you practice with evidence-based medicine right now and what you choose for treatment and how you evaluate the patient and then pick the right exercise. You need to do the same thing in your practice from the perspective of getting patients in the door and how you're doing that and how you're tracking the data and evaluating it to make better changes.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue for those of you who are watching us at home here on YouTube. Look, I really want you guys to enjoy this four-part series here with Marla, because I think we come out of PT school very equipped as staff physical therapists. And we think to ourselves, well, how was the patient handled when they walked in the front door? Was a rapport built? Did they have affinity, likeness? Did they have affinity for our office? When I brought them back, did I get a good subjective report on where they're coming from and what's going on in their situation today? Did I take the right tests and measures? Did I get the right history so that I could put together the proper plan of care and then stick to that plan of care to execute all of my delivery systems, my manual therapy, my orthopedic therapy, my sports medicine therapy, my modalities, such that I can achieve short and long-term goals? And as a clinician, we all remain very objective and very focused on outcome-based measures for what we're doing clinically. My question to you, as you're watching Marla and I, are you doing the same thing on the administrative side? So in this episode, we're just going to take the 30,000-foot view and just enlighten you to the idea of how important it is for you to be doing that. And Marla, when we were at PPS, we had some owners who were having a little bit of a challenge digesting the new messaging that we were bringing to them. And I think the reason is, and I'd like you to explain just a little bit more from the front end, right? Just like a PT has to really do good tests and measures and really establish a good baseline. I think from the front end, what we needed to go back, like we were halfway in the presentation, we had to go back and point this fact out, and then things kind of mellowed out after this, was that we said, no longer are the days that you as a PT private practice owner only get new patients who walk in the door with a script and say, hey, I was just driving by. I recently saw my doctor. He says I need to get therapy for my knee. I thought I'd swing in and see what this was all about, maybe schedule myself. Email or a fax from a physician office. They just e-fax it now, right? Over to your office. And then you have to play 20 dials to try and get them on the phone and get them scheduled, right? Or the patient's calling you and saying, hey, I was at the doctor's office, I got a script. I mean, those three things still happen. And we know that. And I think a lot of our listeners are tracking that and know that. But why don't you give the 30,000 foot view of what the fastest trending way people are wanting to get in to see PTs today?
Absolutely. And that's direct. That's actually getting directly to the patient and offering them the easiest way to schedule and get into your clinic. You really need to start thinking that the doctor, like we said, is one avenue, but it's not the only avenue, and it's a shrinking avenue. You need to be out there in the digital world in front of patients that have any kind of pain or movement dysfunction, and you need to be their first choice. In order to do that, you need to make it as easy as possible.
All right. So what we're doing is we're making the argument here today that there is a need for you to go direct to consumer, for the consumer to go directly to your practice and be able to actually schedule themselves in your practice. And we're going to explain in the next episode a little bit more about the logistics on how that's done. But look, ask yourself this. I know, I have an Audi Q8 just saying, and I needed to schedule a service call. I didn't call anybody. I didn't spend any time doing it. I went right to the website, picked up the dealer, scheduled my appointment, put it in at 1 o'clock, and I'm set and I'm good to go. I'm ready to go. I need to schedule a hair appointment. I open up my app with Great Clips. Yes, I use Great Clips. I buy my $200 gift card for my $10.99 haircut. And what do I got going on? I'm not like Marla. I don't have all that going on. I just trim and go, and just I get on the app and I book my thing, and it says wait time is 15 minutes, and you go. Marla, people were having a bit of a challenge wrapping their wits around, you mean somebody's going to be at their computer at home and they're going to be looking at my schedule book and they're actually going to put themselves, what if they do it wrong? What if they, let's just give an overview of like, don't have to worry about that. Like, this has all been worked out by you guys. And then we'll get into the logistics, and then we'll get into the tracking and data in future episodes.
Fantastic. So, and that's one of the biggest concerns. People say, whoa, I just can't have somebody book themselves on my schedule. There's all little nuances. And I said, you got it. We understand. I'm a PT. We got you covered. The reason is it feels like a booking. It's an experience. It is for the patient. It's like any other service. However, at the end of the day, it's a request. And you are able to qualify that patient because you have all the information you need from them, because you customized that booking flow that they went through. And then they also saw the available times per their appointment type or injury or what was they chose. And then they send it over to you as a request, and your front desk receives all that information in a HIPAA compliant manner where they can say, great, the time works out, the injury works out, that's the right therapist, let me confirm it. Or if it does not, you can use technology to send a text for an alternative time. So don't let that part bother you of the schedule and opening it up to others.
And I just want to wrap it up here because we're going to give you more about how this works and the logistics and how effective the tracking and how it's going to actually drive your business numbers. We're going to talk about that in future episodes. So I'm going to wrap it up here just by saying that in itself is so innovative and so helpful because there are 4 means in which patients are coming in. Are you capturing the direct digital mechanisms or means or logistical pathways of how your patients can come directly to your clinic and get into your schedules? If not, get to the link below, check out BetterHealth, connect with them. Marla or somebody over her group will totally dive deep into your practice and give you the details of how it's done. And you're going to be shocked at how affordable it is for you to have this digital component riding inside your practice and outside with your website connection. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much. Please click like, click support, pay it forward. We are PTs helping PTs in private practice. As always, everybody, get out there and expect to do well.